Hi, I'm actually wondering how your overall experience was working with Rob and if you plan to work with him again in the future.
Yes, of course.
We would pay to work with Rob.
Yes.
We all love Rob. I mean, everybody that works with Rob, other than Dimension, loves Rob. He's the best. He's a genius.
I know before I got cast in the movie, I spoke to several people, including Caroline Williams and you guys, and that's what everybody said. I said, wow, I'm going to work with Rob Zombie, and wow, is this scary or not? And everybody told me in advance how wonderful he was to work with. And it just turned out to be absolutely true. He was just so welcoming, like you're the most important person on
I
earth.
would like him more if he hires me.
Yeah.
They're doing this fuse thing on Rob that I actually had to, I think 2 weeks ago, tape for him. And basically I had to sit in a chair for an interview for 45 minutes and just talk about Rob, which is so easily done.
Yeah.
I mean, there's not enough good things to say about him. I mean, talk about him nonstop. He's a really great guy, yes.
Anybody see Super Beast?
I just saw it, it's amazing.
Yeah? Did you guys do a voice?
You did.
Yeah, but did no. I was the only one that did a voice.
Well, Ken did one.
Super. Yeah. You can rent it, right?
Yeah, DVD, Blu-ray.
Yeah. Oh, it's really fun. You got it.
It's a cartoon.
Well, it's a cartoon movie, and he calls it and asked me if I do a voice. I said, well, what do you want me to read? He said, well, there's 3 she-devils, but they're very, very, very sexy, Dee. I said, well, is there nudity? He said, of course. I said, well, if I can be the one with the biggest tits, I'll do it.
And did he give it to you?
Yep.
Nice.
Very
Hey, discussions for Scout. I actually had a chance to catch the film The Runaways in the theater. It was actually playing somewhere around here, and I remember you played the part of Lita Ford. Were you disappointed at all that her role was kind of minimized in that? Because it had very few lines compared to the others.
I'm not disappointed, I guess, but I don't think they should have called it The Runaways, because it really was basically about Joan Jett, Cherie Curry.
Correct.
But I do know that Lita didn't, they offered her very low amount of money for her story, like ridiculous, like I think $2,000 for her story, which is ridiculous. I mean, it's Lita Ford, she's like an iconic legend. But I mean, I think that was the case. I couldn't be in any scenes where there's alcohol, there's nudity, I had this contract myself because Lita didn't sign off on this contract, but I don't know, I think the film is great, I really do. I really love the film. I think Kristen Stewart and Dakota Fanning did amazing, but I don't think it was a Runaways movie. I think it was mostly
I still love the movie, but I do see that perspective.
It was great.
It was just that I thought you did very well in the part.
Thank you.
I know quality is more important sometimes than quantity, but it was still Lita Ford.
Thank you. I actually had to learn all the solos, so that is me playing.
Did you play guitar before that?
No, I'm a drummer. So,
really?
but I read tabs very well, so it was very easy for me to learn. But
I'm a bass player. Let's jam sometime.
Oh, there you go.
This one's for Scout. Did you felt Rob on H2 with your name being on top of the credits because you pretty much owned that movie? So, I mean, what was this like? What was going on behind that?
That wasn't Rob at all. That was Dimension. Dimension. It's so wonderful, you guys. Have we told you how wonderful Dimension is? It was Dimension. Actually, I got a call. Very weird that you say this. I got a call from Rob saying, your agent has it in your contract for you to be at the ending with an and. And I was like, well, I really don't know what the hell that means. I mean, is that good? And he's like, no, like, let me put you up like the third. Like, I have to put you in the third. And I don't know, my agent felt like if I couldn't be first because, I was the lead in the movie, then the and would be okay. But that was Dimensions doing it, unfortunately. There's a studio for you. Brad in the chair.
It's funny like that, or notice anything.
Whatever.
This is more of a request. I know you guys can't get out of here without screaming. So could you guys each take a turn to scream maybe? Scream.
Listen.
1, 2, 3.
Listen, buddy. You've heard us scream enough. There's a couple things I don't do unless I get paid. One is screaming. You can figure out what the other one's. I'm just kidding. Take me to dinner first.
I don't turn my head all around.
I got another question for Danielle. You made a short film called Naz a couple of years ago. That project kind of seems like it fell apart. Well, your film was done. What's the future of that?
Money's been hard for everybody, and they just lost their financing, so they couldn't do the other two. Mine was done, and we were sort of in a holding pattern for a while, and then it fell through, and the producers separated, and it's, and the story goes. But I think that I got a call recently. They wanted to try to do another round of them with, other genre actors directing for the first time as well. And,
Yeah, it's gonna do the second.
recently, like over the summer, right?
Yeah.
I mean, hopefully they still do it. I have my story that I've been working on to come back and do another one.
Yeah, they asked me to do one too, so I think it's a great idea.
I think it's a great idea. We should just do it.
Yeah, we should just do it.
I
have a
Let's
really
do
good
it in my
idea.
backyard.
I mean, you don't need that, if we had a good amount of money, just enough.
You don't even
If you're-
need any
You
money.
don't need that much.
I don't know. This is,
I need
There are so many, there are so many crap projects that are made for, $200,000, $300,000, and you're like, if you just
Crap
use
idea.
that money well, you can make a great thing. Let's do it.
let's do it.
Hi, my question is actually for Eileen Dietz. It's a little off subject, but since you were actually on the set of The Exorcist, I've heard so many stories about William Friedkin shooting off guns to get actors in the movie. Are these stories true? Did he actually do that on the set, or is that just like hype?
Every story you heard about Billy Freakin is true. There were guns. At one point, he wanted, when the demon showed up, to be smelled rancidly. So he made up a mixture of rotten eggs and rotten meat and rotten everything else you can think of. And they threw it on the set, and it was so bad the crew got sick and went home, and they couldn't shoot that day. It was amazing. He shot the gun off, and the first time everybody went, whoa. And the second time it was like, okay. Third time was, what the fuck was that? But he just liked to do things that actors really can do. And, if you put your trust in actors, right, we can all do that without the outside stimuli. But that's what he wanted to do, and I guess it worked. But I can tell you one thing really quickly. Working with Billy Freakin and working with Rob Zombie is like day and night. It's just two different people, two different personalities, and two different things.
I have a very off-topic question. I'm just curious. For Danielle, what was it like working with Roseanne Barr?
I actually love her. I mean, I did a movie of the week with her and Tom in Iowa called The Woman Who Loved Elvis, where they still did movies. They don't really do them that much anymore. And then she asked me to come on the show, and I thought it just would be like an episode. I'd never done a sitcom before in my life, and ended up signing on for 3 years, only did 1 year. But she's great. She's really great. I've got crazy stories about that woman. But have you ever met her or worked with her? No, she's awesome. She should, I don't know. I was always kind of a fan of hers, and her and Tom were fighting a lot on set, and they were going to get separated a year later. So there was a few moments where she left, and got in her car and took off. But she doesn't mess around, that woman. But she's pretty badass.
All right, last question over here. I just had a question for what's your favorite Rob Zombie film? Like, if anyone, if you had a favorite one?
Devil's Rejects.
Yeah.
I agree.
Devil's Rejects.
Wow, we all agreed on something.